Ladies and gentlemen, live from Chicago, the second city of comedy, please welcome Tracy DeGraaf.
I am married, 32 years. Yeah. In a row. Same man. No breaks. No breaks. Not like we were married 7 years and thought, oh, we should take a break. No. Not even separate bedrooms. 32 years in a row. Same man. No breaks. Yeah. My husband's name is Ron. It's a nice, normal name. But I call him Muffin. Isn't that cute? Muffin! Isn't he adorable? He is a Chicago construction worker. Yes, and what Chicago construction worker wouldn't want to be called Muffin? I've tried to get him to put it on his hard hat, you know, Muffin, but he won't. I said, how about just Muff for short? You know, just Muff. He won't. Yeah. And Muffin and I, we got really busy back in 1989 when we got married. And in the first 11 years of our marriage, we had our 5 children. They are all boys. This picture was taken at our family reunion last summer where we all wore name tags. And I was like, why didn't we think of this 30 years ago? That was helpful. So Muffin and I, we call them the mini muffins. Yeah, it works. And, you know, this was during the 90s that we had these kids, and we did not plan this big family. Oh, no. I am just extremely forgetful. I am. I was like, I could never remember. Did I take that pill today, or was that yesterday? And then I'd lose the pills. I'd be like, where are those pills? And then when you find the pills, you realize it's been 5 days. So I would just take them all at once, all at the same time. And then I would shimmy like this to try to get the pill down to where it was supposed to be. That doesn't work, by the way. Doesn't work. Do you know what they call you if you forget to take your pill for 5 days? Oh, they call you Mama. Yeah, for the rest of your life. Yeah, and that was during the 90s. The 90s to me is a complete blur. Like some of you remember the 90s, not me. I don't remember a thing about the 90s. I mean, I couldn't tell you who was president, you know, what was popular. The only thing I can recall about the 90s is something about a blue dress with a stain. I got that. And a white Bronco and a slow chase. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got from the 90s. It's a blur. Even to this day, I will be out in public and I'll hear music overhead and I'll say to my friend, oh, that's a catchy tune. I wonder if it's new. And my friend will say, it's Whitney Houston. It's not new. I'm like, was she from the 90s? Because if she was, I don't remember her. But I survived. Most of the 90s, I spent most of my time with just one nostril above the water. Every once in a while, I would switch off different nostrils. But it was tough. And pretty soon, after a decade of popping out a mini muffin every other year, Muffin had a new nickname for me. Bakery. Yeah, and I was like, look, Muffin, we gotta shut this bakery down. Because I'm pretty sure if we got the health department in here, they'd be like, yeah, ma'am, the ceiling is sagging and these pipes are about to blow. Shut it down. So we had the talk. You know, the one, the big V. For victory. And vasectomy. Yeah, you know. Oh, awesome. This is how that talk went, because honestly, I didn't have to really talk about it. I didn't have to pray about it. I didn't need to list the pros and the cons. I didn't even care who did it. I wasn't going to do it, and I wasn't going to let Lorena Bobbitt do it. Maybe I do know more about the 90s than I give myself credit for. You young people don't remember Lorena Bobbitt, but let's just say she's intense. And you would not want her doing your vasectomy. You can Google it, look it up, you'll understand. But somebody was gonna do it, and this is how that conversation went between myself and Muffin. It happened to be on Kashmir Pulaski Day, which not many people know about unless you live in Illinois. It's a day in the middle of winter. It's freezing cold outside. The kids are home from school. Kashmir Pulaski did something fancy for Illinois and Chicago. I have no idea what it was. It had nothing to do with a sweater. And he was a Polish immigrant. That's all I got from Kashmir Pulaski Day. So it was Kashmir Pulaski Day, and Muffin was going off to work, and I was home with the kids. At that time, we had 4 boys, and I was pregnant with our 5th. Yeah, if that's not enough to send you sailing. And he was walking out the door, and I was home with the cageless monkeys. And as he was leaving and lacing up his boots, he said, "Oh, Trey, don't forget, call the doctor for me." So you young ones, you single ladies in the audience, here's a little free marriage tip for you that's going to help you get to 32 years in a row. The minute you get married to a man, he loses the ability to make a telephone call. He does. He does. He just won't do it. So when you say I do, you're also saying I will. I will call the doctors. I will order a pizza. I will get the babysitter. The faster you get over that, the happier you will all be. So Muffin's leaving for work, and I'm kissing him goodbye, and he says, "Don't forget, call the doctor." He had a neuroma on his toe, so he needed a podiatrist. Apparently it's a nerve issue. It's really not that big deal, but whatever. He had it. And I said, "No problem, I gotcha." And then I went on about my day with the family at home, inside. Trapped. How do you think I got this? How do you think? And halfway through the day, I remembered I have to make that phone call. Now, here's something about back then, back in the day, when we used to make phone calls, and it was simple. It was simple. Some of you remember that. Before we had all these smartphones and all this stuff, phone calling was simple. I went over to the phone, and it was attached to my wall. No one ever back then said, "I lost my phone." Never. Those words hadn't even been invented yet. I mean, they were out there in the world universe, but they weren't put together in a row. Because if you lost your phone back then, you had bigger problems. say it was even smart, right? And now the young people are going, how'd they get the phone to stay on the wall? Did they use command strips? No, you idiot. There were screws. It was a box. It stuck on the wall. It was simple. So I found the wall. And then the phone, which was called a handset, some of you recall that term, handset. We had a fancy one, so ours had a stick on it. Remember the handset stick where it had a shoulder that was curved? Oh, yeah, you my people. Oh, yeah. So you were fancy, too. So this stick, you would put it on your shoulder so you could be hands-free, and you would just put the pressure... Look at me. I'm hands-free. And then if you were fancy and you had money, right, you got one of those aftermarket phone cords, you know the ones? Because the phone back then, see, young people don't get this. You had one phone for your whole life. It was like the front door. You never changed it. Your phone was never dead. You would die before the phone would die. And it came with a short cord. Kind of like those smartphones. They try to roll you right out of bed. Boom, boom. Well, I went and bought one of those long ones. Oh, the curly Q, that's right, that one. So I could be attached to the wall, but I could be in my master bedroom, and then I could be down in the basement, and then I could go to the grocery store. And then I would unwind myself and be back at the wall. Simple. It was so simple. And then, back then, when you wanted to make a phone call but you didn't know the number, you would get out this other thing we don't have anymore. It's called a phone book. It was made of paper. It had yellow pages. It came from a tree. You had to know the alphabet. It was like Google, but smarter. Well, I got out my phone book, and I had my pregnant belly that was about out to here, and I set my phone book down on that belly, and I started to look to P for doctor, PH, physician, and then under PH, you had to go PO for podiatrist. And I'm looking, and then it happened. Right then, in my kitchen, it was like the sky opened up. I heard screams coming from the other end of the house, and it was those 4 cageless monkeys. They were fighting over some Legos, but it sounded like they were being torn limb to limb. It was intense. And I said out loud, forget the toe. We're going north. He's having a vasectomy. And so I said, forget the podiatrist. I never did call the podiatrist. I just flipped a few more pages, and I make elemental PQRS, and I found urologist. And this was also back in the day before HIPAA. Remember when you could get things done? So I called this urologist in the phone book, and here's how that phone call went. Hello, Dr. Snip and Clip's office. I said, hello, I got a customer for ya. And so we made the appointment for Friday, and then I said, what if I can't get him to do it? Yeah, that's what she did, a little nervous laugh. Because, like, she thought she was talking to a normal person who had discussed it with the man. She did not know she was talking to a condemned bakery. And I said, oh, I can get him to do it. She said, we can't force him. I said, I can get him to do it. Every woman on planet Earth knows exactly what to do to get her man to do something. So I cooked for him, of course. I got out my other book. Remember the Betty Crocker cookbook? It had the pictures in it, and it had the white and red cover. I made 2 main dishes. My side dishes had side dishes. I cleaned the house. I was pregnant. I took a shower. I put on a clean maternity top with no stains. He came home and the house smelled like pine sol and beef, which you would think doesn't smell good, but oddly it does. And he walked in and there was a feast. He should have known something is up. We don't even celebrate Kazimierz Pulaski Day. We're not Polish. But there he was, clueless. And he sits down and he's enjoying the meal, and we're all around the table, and the boys, I made sure they were extra bribed, be good. And we're sitting there, and Muffin says, so, did you call the doctor? I said, yes. You go on Friday, and I'll drive you. And he goes, how come you have to drive me? It's just a little shot of cortisone. I'll drive myself. So then I told him what doctor and what for, right? Because could you imagine if I left that out? I mean, yeah, he'd be like, that is not my toe. And then I popped the question to him. And I was like, so do you want to do it? And he said no. Yeah, I'm like, let me rephrase that. Do you want to do it? The bakery is closed. Well, I want to leave you with one more funny story. And one time I was at my girlfriend's house, and we were talking about getting pulled over by the police. You've been there, right? Some of you? I don't know why I looked at you. You look suspicious. And we were talking about getting pulled over, and her daughter-in-law was there, and she was one of these 20-something geniuses. And the daughter-in-law says to me, oh, Tracy, if you get pulled over, just do what I do and unbutton your blouse. I said, wow, that is quite an idea. Except I have been pregnant for 205 weeks. These are nursing breasts. I nursed for 11 years. I shopped for my bras in the shoe department. I could just see me. Oh, excuse me, officer. on the gas pedal.